The human challenge. It will always be within yourself. There is truly no outside agency or force to be evaluated with but you in the manner of your own conscious responses within your current state of development upon every level of the being. The desires, the lust for independence and the drives of ambitious implications towards an ideal of freedom, tend to fan the burning fire personal desire. They burn inside of you as a fire without the root of a blue flame to contain it with intelligence and therefore integrity. Truth be told, it is only you who are responsible of how far your journey towards your destined state of being is ventured, either pleasant or made unpleasant. The key is to understand that your destiny and its incredible reward has been created within your own mind and spirit, waiting for you to realize it, for to utilize it to its fullest in your love of it. It's there for you, dwelling within your gifted potential. Simplicity in the present motivation and humility of mind and spirit is the state of being that has been compromised within before we was made known that we possessed it. Some of us have to suffer a traumatic experience in our lives to be brought to this state of existence. Many who have come to know and understand, rise inside and produce for to present to the world why they were created as a living being. Make an impact. You are in control of the fire within. The fire is never in control of you unless by your permission and your choice and action towards either success or failure. It is beneficial to never be in fear of moving beyond what has become what is known to be a comfort zone. In reading within the stagnant spirit of this place, you will find that this state of being has no living in terms of movement and growth. You are just simply existing in time. We are created for a more profound reason than just to merely exist. Everything in creation has one divine and fundamental function, and that the gift of movement and evolution. Growing from where he or she is within the present state. There are some comfort zones that have been established by way of traditional irresponsibility, the lack of responding adequately to the true function of life. Tradition is simply another circle of a repetitious activity passed down upon one generation to another, as this can only be destructive if there is no real productivity and harmony with the gift of evolution, which gives more life for living. Many human beings have been born into psychological cages without a key. These cages are simply the manner of existing of where there fails to be a clear understanding of the importance of growth. For generations and generations, one who is observing is able to see the same cycle of behavior and deeds manifest through the example within the social environment, despite of the many years past. The repetitious cycle of stagnation and emptiness. This is the curse of a tradition which has not a seed blooming inside of it for a flowering of evolution towards a success which benefits the whole. For there to be an evolution for the coming generation, there must be a change in the thinking and actions of the present generation. Unless this cycle continues and the lack of growth remains. Where there is no growth, there is only the state of death within existing. The greatest step in making matters better will forever be the first step from what has been, into what should be. Internal health is an overall, universal reality. To engage in matters of clutter and confusion is a move into a state of being to where your response could result in being a move into inadequacy. Having been through those previous states of development, only implies for you to move forwards and into what is created new for you, for to understand that humility is granted for your own sense of self-knowing. Feeding the fire of confusion can only result of you having a time coming of where you will have to question your personal interest in engaging in rigid and mislead human beings who are still searching, but have not the character of being helped to see what is in plain perception. The only self-destructive activity that you can grant yourself is to demote yourself down to a level of obscurity and emotionalism within the exchange. It's an empty and futile activity. In this, if continued unwisely, you become a reflection of a quality that has very little substance. Be attentive to where you invest your attention. You don't have to suffer the consequences nor burdens upon your life you did not provoke. That fire that seems to continue to burn no matter how much you try to relinquish it with your offer to communicate for the sake of understanding with others who have been made ignorant. It will not stop burning upon its own, because it gets its energy and feeding off of your life force as you are the log to the fire. They serve as only the wicked, silent fan which keeps the fire burning. It is you alone who ends the burden, no matter of how cold and callous it seems to the observers. Do what is in the best interest of your mind and spirit. It's your journey. The silent, lingering and insidious phantoms that burn in your own soul must be realized as not of your own deeds of the past. You don't even have to explain where you are not at fault anymore. In their refusal to listen objectively, only strokes their self-righteousness and false sense of importance. Blow out all of the flames yourself and what is troubling you and move forward in your true living. No sorrows, no pains and no regrets. Only focus, contentment and productivity. Purge out of your life all who keep the madness of the flames blowing inside of you, including those in your bloodline who think as though they understand your path and yet are too enslaved with a religion to understand the simplicity of common human existence. Let them all go. They only serve as internal burdens. Times as now may look darkened by a traumatic experience because of the lack of clarity. But know that you're only able to recognize this because you still have insight of the time, and so you have not been abandoned of the blessing of resolving the issue in fullness. The darkness gives a revealing power to the presence of the light, as the light gives a revealing power of the darkness. They both are a part of the same movement and hold a great purpose for the lesson being administered to the human mind. There is an immense beauty in this. You may find inside a fear of what is said to be of the unknown. This is but an abstraction because fear is not premeditated, in fact in harmony with your own curiosity. Curiosity is one of the highest states of innocence. One cannot fear what he or she has not yet come to know. What is not yet known is only a predisposition of something to be in time realized. Fear does not truly live there. The past at times and its pain seem to be carried within a fear for never wanting to suffer a particular pain again. The past is in death and can only be a living and present adversary if one has been destroyed by it and remaining there within its sorrows, within its pains, rooted truly in a fear of moving forwards to greater horizons for the sake of self-identity, true purpose. Fear's intention is to cause the human being to become afraid, as it comes with a convincing deceptive intelligence to justify its presence and therefore, rulership for leadership. To become succumbed within a quicksand of being afraid only causes a state of internal paralysis, creating discouragement. Fear imbues inside of you a prison with still the key within your own hand power to unlock for to be made free. If one is no longer discouraged to move forwards because of the past becoming the primary adversary of the present. We are all in power in harmony with the living experience. Keep moving forwards.
You were not brought into existence with a book of instructions. You were not physically brought into this world with a book tied to your ankle nor wrist for guidance. All of that was given to you to cause you to always look upon the external, instead of the reality of the internal. That internal place of where the true issues reside. You will in time come to realize that you are the book that needs to be read upon a daily basis. Allow yourself to be made to feel insecure by existing without what has been given, so that you will learn and realize of how to embrace what you already have as a student of profound living. Observe, perceive and accumulate what is within its nature. Allow truth to reveal itself to you. You have been created far greater than you have been told. In coming to know truth, those who have embraced the reality of what is, are never grieved of losing those in their lives who they love. Their love for truth derives from the complete humility in which truth provides. Humility is the original state of the mind and spirit, which is clarity, unburdened by mere limited knowledge. It is that state of where clarity is able to be found in all matters without corruptible agencies causing the inner self to become animated because of becoming morally contaminated. The host in which carries truth, despite of who admires or asserts to support him or her, will forever walk alone in truth during times of when truth is being made reality in time. In spite of what is transpiring within the society that fragments the human family into groups and cultures that opposes the other, the truth carrier is rejected and criticized because he or she has understood beyond the conflicting forces that govern the society, giving birth to further conflict and divisiveness. He or she is rejected by all sides. Pain, sorrow and the effects of historical accounts affecting and infecting the feelings of the human being has become the internal order of the day and into the night, as no one truly rests, but only sleep. The solution to the ills of the society will forever be those who are within it. We all walk alone until truth is allowed to touch the minds of the majority and causing the change needed for true revolution without the retaliation which has shaped the miseries of this earth. The journey in all of its pains, joys and sorrows will forever have a great beauty within it in the end, because it all points its primary function to your growth as a flower blooms showing its inner vitality. The growth factor is always a source of identity revealing your purpose for existing in a world such as this. The simple and yet powerful reality of existing is profound. Regardless of your seemingly complex journey with anyone else or alone, your reasoning for being alive is greater than you may ever realize. The greater reason is the sacred incentive in which provides the encouragement to continue to move forwards no matter of the storms. There is no one like you. In truth, there is truly no one as you are. No matter of your struggles, you are indeed created a beautiful and powerful presence. Even within the storm, always know that.
When you have gone through something that is defining, many find it difficult to understand the depth of your revolution and your new perspective on your living experience. They perceive you as unresponsive or even without compassion. You are able to easily walk away and not look back. They don't understand the magnitude of suffering a life-changing experience. You find no more interest in what you felt brought you pleasure and satisfaction. You find yourself without an appetite for anything of a previous interest. You come to know what wasting time means in fact when the mind reflects back to past times. And so, those times that are perceived as time wasted, has great substance because they reveal the importance of never wasting time, as well as the sacredness of time. Everything outside of your own destiny becomes futile and less than superficial. This is a profound moment of realization. It is the season of fall for you. The time of when many people in interest fall away into the valley of expendability. It's okay to flow along with your evolution no matter of how others are affected. Nothing and no one is permanent but yourself. Growth with change is that miraculous substance that many people may never understand. Some have to suffer for it. But, as long as you understand, then all is well. This is your journey of meditation. Observe inside. Notice of how the darkness of the environment within is clear of a chaotic presence after coming to understand the vitality of allowing it to pass away, without demanding that it leave. Observe the feeling. The feeling of a sacred calm is conveniently unattainable by the perception of the mind. It's felt to be peaceful. However, a state of being in which one truly cannot identify conclusively, but to only dare to compare. You will come to a wisdom of knowing that, to compare the sacred to what has been made known by way of the past, only betrays one's beautiful and fulfilling moment. Letting go, and allowing all of which is coming into being made known, is significant, despite the miseducation of being taught that fear is the factor and therefore partner of darkness. You in your own company are very cooperative in having a clear indication of what is truly the fact of the present moment in your observation. One simply makes a decision to take the moment as it is, within the midst of its living beauty, which in truth, knows that you are there to enjoy the miraculous substance of the environment instead of fearing it. This is real, Meditation. You die to what you have been conveniently taught to function inside of a society that is crumbling into an abyss state of death. You allow yourself to no longer be controlled and dictated by an established, programmed and conditioned state of fear. You allow yourself to be insecure, vulnerable to understand that these thoughts and feelings are only present because of being made to rely upon imposed religious doctrine from generations before you. Your eyes, your heart is marveling to what the divine ordained before you. This moment is for you, and how vital it is for you to grasp the importance of such a miraculous, beautiful and secured moment of self-love and vitality of your presence. You are looking at yourself. You are witnessing a season of purification. The results of the purification period is greatly appreciated by the host, but dreadfully misunderstood by the observers. Having been sent through the fire of purification unto the death of the past being, for the sake of coming into the birth of the new being, is painful, humiliating, long-suffering but immensely beautiful. It's beautiful because it holds a life-changing power which continues to venture the host towards the totality of identity outside of the previous programming. Anyone who does not reject the current programming, and its continuous chaotic state, is let go without feelings, without effort, and therefore, evidence of resistance. It's revealing the painfully beautiful death of the current state of mind for the complacency of the blooming reality that is beyond what has been previously lived. This is why death possesses a quality of humility and goodness while living. To willingly die to who you were, you have to go through the fires of reformation. Those who are of your living experience are not able to perceive assurance of who you have suffered to become. They in fact desire the one who has died and find who and what you are complicated and reclusive, cold, as well as insidious. They fail to understand that you have been conveniently resolved. Who you have suffered through the fire to become is the factor of your best interest. Living in the past is self-denial and self-destructive now to the present conditioning. Love who you are today. No matter who fails to understand, or refuses to accept your state of maturity. Death of the environment within gives way to the greater living experience. Always know how virtuous you are in this very moment of existence, and fear nothing which contains a darkness in its design of your own moments with it. Fear is but a taught abstraction, a diversion that is constructed that you may not truly see and perceive that which is new and revealing. Know your thoughts and feelings about who and what you are. Discard any claims of who you are, or who you should be, and therefore, become. It's not their journey. They possess their own venture to accompany them. It is imperative to know that so you may have a clear will to succeed in your life experience upon this beautiful earth.
The vital state of living is to never become so immensely consumed at the heels of the present world that one is made to forget what love is within its very essence inside. Love has been made a mere concept by this Western culture and therefore deliberately misinterpreted so that the present human being can be educated with a miseducation of what will heal this society and to bring about an order that is vital to our survival. Each and every human being, despite their so-called race or culture, knows what is beneficial to this society regardless of the set policies of divisiveness within their culture, cultivated by the deeds of the past that opposed their state of decency. This does not imply that every human being desires for the society to be healed and then made into one in a state of growth and therefore a harmonious justice which inflows order. It is such a place of being that exists as having order in your life, and still within a state of freedom without any laws, any commandments in which are asserted for your success, but in fact only cause you a sense of pressure and oppression. As each one of us commits to know and understand the purpose of our living, there are some who will oppose our efforts towards this noble objective with intentions that are unprovoked by us, simply because they have not yet realized their own purpose of existing. This is not always the evil presence. This is simply a human being suffering and not yet coming to know who they are, what they are and why they are here. It is a place we have all been. So, there is indeed a journey commonly shared and ventured in which holds healing as well as enlightenment. This has nothing whatsoever to do with this knowledge of self-monotony that only holds many inside of a bruised and golden cage of where no one inside has a key for this ideology of freedom that each one holds a distinctive perception of. It contains no universal fact that produces a unity within the hosts inside of a group sharing the similar culture. The primary struggle will always be with oneself. The solution to this society's ills will forever be you, we and us. The society holds a tremendous state of pain and sorrow. We are those who help created this, and also we have come to commonly maintain it through our pains and sorrow in which we tend to impose upon one another. We have not yet come to know and understand that we are present here to be used as a healing agent of one another, not to inflict more pain and adding more sorrow to the earth. That is only the methodology of politics. If I am healed, only am I able to heal you, as only you are able to heal me as well as others. The most inner and profound question that we all must ask ourselves this moment in living, in being affected of the chaotic disorder of this Western society is, do we wish to allow ourselves to be healed despite what we are fed upon an emotional and psychological basis each day of our lives? Have we become a victimization in feeling a sense of exhilaration in being encased inside of a golden cage of lies, warfare, harsh historical accounts, the violence and warfare of sports and its powerful influence into time being wasted upon things that truly contain no real meaning? Have we been made addicted to a cultural poison in which have given us an appetite in which can never be made fulfilled to our minds and spirits? It is truly no secret of what has become the primary problem here, as we all truly need to admit emphatically. Each one of us have to come to the realization within ourselves first and become truly free in all of we have found pleasure in hurting in and bloom into what we all were destined to be since the moment we were conceived of the Creator within the sacred wombs of our earthly mothers. Written by David Anthony Braboy.